Well, everybody, we lost Sam Kieth. Isn't that right, Cleo? We lost one of the greats. Um, Pretty sad news, I gotta say. Didn't we lose Michael Zulli like a couple years ago? I just, uh, mm. I could say some things, but I'm not going to. We're gonna focus on Sam Kieth. Um, so I have quite a nice pile here of his stuff that I'm going to share. The first thing I'm going to share, this book came out in 2013. It's called Samplings and Dabblings, and it was curated by the Cartoon Art Museum in San Francisco. And it was curated by Andrew Farrago, who also a couple weeks ago wrote a nice article about Sam in the Comics Journal. So definitely look that up and read it when you get a chance. So this starts off with an introduction and an interview, and I just want to show you. So it's the contents page, and it's from Epicurus, the sage. Look at that piece. Isn't it so cool looking? But these are the table of contents. And so when Sam Kieth passed away last month, I was revisiting a lot of his stuff. And wow, that man was, I think, the most self-deprecating man on the planet. He didn't so much fall on the sword as he lived on the sword. So this introduction, it starts with a quote from Kieth, and it says, "Me? Really? Would people really want to see that?" That was Sam Kieth's reaction when I first spoke to him about assembling a retrospective of his work for the Cartoon Art Museum. Those same thoughts are going through my head when we decided to publish an exhibition catalog accompanied by a career-spanning interview with Sam. Who wants to read what I had to say to the legendary Sam Kieth? I'm just some guy. That approach is probably why Sam was willing to talk for 2 hours about his career, covering everything from his earliest days as an indie cartoonist to his most recent artistic endeavors. I had the pleasure of discussing everything from background inks on Matt Wagner's Mage to the mythology and symbolism of the trout, to the questions of just how abstract a Marvel editor will let your work get, and whether or not the Maxx was a superhero comic. The interview was conducted on Monday, November 19th, 2012, via telephone and a Radio Shack tape recorder. It's mostly a straight transcript, but some of the saltier language has been toned down in case our mothers read this. Andrew Farrago, January 29th, 2013. And then it goes into the interview, and I would love to sit here and read this for you, but it is very, very long. Like the guy said, they talked for 2 hours. And yeah, it's a lot. It's really interesting, though. It's a great interview. And towards the end, it talks about stuff of his that I'd never even heard of before. I've never even seen until this book. It's called Trout. It's so crazy. Like, I mean, I've always felt like, you know, I'm never gonna have everything of anything. I don't care who the artist is, who the musician is, who the director is. Everybody makes so much stuff. I'm never gonna get it all, and Sam Kieth is no different. I I thought I had a pretty good amount of his stuff, and I do. But as I was revisiting his work and digging deeper into different things, I came to find out there are so many things this man did that I just completely missed my radar. And I wonder if I'll ever get to see or read any of it, because it's just so hard to find now, even harder than before. What is this? Oh, cool. He's talking about Chris Ware's building stories. So, about this trout. So Kieth is talking here. I'm a guy who lucked into some high-profile gigs, got more and more interested in storytelling, and it's not that the audience is shrinking, they're getting more and more selective, which is code for they're shrinking. But the good news is that if you have an audience of 5 or 10,000 people, that's really all you need to survive as an artist. I think I've always had that, even going back to the Marvel Comics Presents days. Most were Wolverine fans, but there were people who wanted to check out whatever else I was going to do. Some of them are lifers, diehard fans who will follow me deep into the bowels of wherever I go, God bless them. I'm known for the weird, surreal stuff I did in the Maxx, and all of the surreal, dysfunctional mother-daughter stuff I'm doing now. But no one really knows what the hell I'm talking about yet. It's like Frank Zappa used to say, everything is just one note. He said all his songs are one giant composition, just cut up into tiny little pieces. George Carlin said in one of his routines that the closest he gets to spirituality is thinking that there's just a big electron and it just vibrates. It doesn't punish or judge, it just is. In Breakfast of Champions, Kurt Vonnegut, and I feel an affinity toward this, takes this one almost... in Breakfast of Champions, Kurt Vonnegut takes this one almost totally ignored science fiction writer, Kilgore Trout. My Trout was not inspired by this, who's only got a handful of fans. He's a sad, ticky old fart in the novel. You know, Vonnegut knew such shame when he was toiling away writing sci-fi stories for peanuts. By the book's end, Vonnegut has portrayed this guy as kind of a buffoon throughout the whole story. Yet Vonnegut reveals himself and shows compassion for the fictional Trout in the end. It always made me wonder, was he having compassion for some fictional version of himself? In the same way, in all my stories, I'm trying to have compassion for these characters who have been through hell or who've put themselves through hell and are, in some way, all alter egos for me. So whether work for hire or creator-owned, the themes are all continuous in my work. Some of the characters are owned by evil conglomerates. Others are just waiting to be picked off by evil conglomerates. And some of them are so weird that no evil conglomerate wants to touch them with a stick. But they're all part of one giant Sam story. You've gone from Klimt, Frank Zappa, George Carlin, Kurt Vonnegut, and back to your stories, all in one swoop. Nice way to end things. Well, it's your fault for egging me on. Somebody can go off and make a Slaughterhouse-5 movie, but it doesn't change the fact that it's part of the same universe as Vonnegut's other stories, right? When you rip off the Max's head like a mask, what's underneath? He's legs. You rip off part of legs, and he's some other character. The Trout? Bingo. Okay. What is the Trout? What is the Trout? This is so weird. There are pages in here about the Trout, and I swear to you, it answers, it provides, you're left with more questions than answers. What is this? So, pretty healthy interview. Like, it ends on page 16. And then it goes into drawings and paintings. And these are just really cool looking. This one here, the freaky one with the teeth, it says it's inspired by Carl Schenkel's cover for Zappa's Uncle Meat album. Media-wise, everything but the kitchen sink in this sucker. And the media is acrylic, gouache, gel medium, glue, pipe cleaners, debris, clay, candy, wire, piece of plush toy. All this over a duck. Watercolor and salt. The comments say this is from the Batman Secrets miniseries. 2 kids in a field, an accident, a duck, and a clenched fist. Subtext. Bruce's slain parents. A subtext which the Joker never understands. This painting is what inspired me to write the whole miniseries. And then on the adjacent page, My Fair Bimbo. Comments. I left the word fair out to add digitally. I can never decide whether to spell it F-A-I-R or F-A-R-E. Given my dyslexia, I'm surprised I remember the difference. I think these are so cool. So these are paintings. They're colored pencil. One is colored pencil and watercolor, and the other is acrylic and gouache. And they're paintings of bonsai trees. They're lovely. But this comment, so this was inspired by a Bonsai Love pilot for a cable series. Then I accidentally deleted the entire 48-page script. Grr. I guess if I really wanted to do it again, I could remember everything I wrote and write it all over again. Or not. I can't tell if this is a joke or was there really, did he really write a pilot for a cable series called Bonsai Love? I don't know. I mean, why not? Why not? But it could be a joke. I don't know. I can't tell. I'm so curious. But aren't these cool? Some of these characters, this is just, this is from my inner bimbo. And then this, the comment says, John first saw this drawing buried among tons of Asian, bonsai, and mom sketches, which no one had seen yet, the first time he came to my house. I was still unsure if they were worthy, but John convinced me to throw them up on the blog. Sam Kieth has a blog. Thanks to him and to my fans' warm online reaction, the dam soon broke. It all started with this piece. I'm going to have to check out this blog. I tried finding my inner bimbo and I just don't have it in me to spend that money right now. It's available, like, I guess there was a trade paperback, can't find it anywhere, and to buy it individually, issue by issue, yeah, I don't want to spend that money. I don't get this one. So the piece with, like, the hat, one of these things is not like the other. Acrylic hats and collars, stamp pads, watercolor. The comment says, remember the Sesame Street song? I mean, yeah. Hi, Clea. But I don't understand what that has to do with the piece. For years, I was convinced that the biggest face was my favorite because I usually don't get this close to realism in my faces. Then I warmed to the one in the upper left. But these days, I actually prefer the lower left one. While technically imperfect, to me this one has a life and energy missing from the other two, flaws and all. But that's just me. Which do you like best? And then this other one. Impossibly thin, I know. A stylized view of herself, nothing to do with the reality of how most women are built, but defendable, given my penchant for drawing heavyset gals. Two imperfect sisters, one painted, one pasted in. Some people are disappointed that the sisters' faces are not idealized and stiltedly, almost crudely pasted in. In addition to the Japanese Heian period of white painted faces, I think I said that right, this one is a pun on my own imperfect skill in painting them. One face literally cut out and abruptly pasted over the art, the other quickly smeared on with visible white paint. We all have tons of deliberately romanticized pictures of Asian women. You do. But the point here was to show that there's a flawed / real woman buried under all that makeup somewhere. One lonely tree. Comments. Self-explanatory. Hopefully. That's so cool looking. He's lamenting that he misspelled the name of the artist that he was doing this piece to in tribute. And then this one, the title comes from the Captain Beefheart song of the same name, Sweet, Sweet Bulbs. These lyrics sum up how I felt when I first met my wife, as she is quite fond of gardens. Taboos of body fat in comics. This was an incredibly popular post on my blog, right up there with the Maxx and Batman. Gives me some hope, given more and more of my future comics will have chubby girls and guys in them. Skinny folks, too. I don't just think fat is a feminist issue. I think it's a humanist issue. And then he has all... Well, I'll just show you. Like all these little notes and stuff. Then it moves into comics. So this painting here that he was talking about, the Batman Secrets miniseries, is from this. This is so Ralph Steadman. And this is from Epicurus. This is all art from different comics, more Epicurus. Surprisingly, there's no work in here from You're Not Going Out, from this stuff he did for Aliens. I gotta say, so I I love them. I love the Aliens comics that he does. I think the story is a hell of a lot better than what came after, movie wise. But my God, when you read the letters, they rip Sam to shreds. So it's 50-50. People either love what he did or they hate it with a passion. Like, it was painful reading some of these letters. And I think the only reason they even published them was because they would soften the blow with like real high praising letters. It's definitely a mix of hot and cold. People either loved his stuff or hated it. And considering how self-deprecating he is, I think those letters really hurt his feelings. I mean, they hurt my feelings for him. And yeah, this book that curates his work, it does not have any of his alien stuff in it, which is a shame. Oh, his tiger stuff. I love the stuff he did with the Marvel Comics Presents. Unfortunately, so I read all the tiger stuff, but I never read any of the Wolverine and Nightcrawler stuff, which makes me sad. I wonder if I ever will. Oh, that's such a cool piece. Ghost Rider and Werewolf by Night. Yeah, they do not do aliens. We'll move on to the Maxx. Such a weird cover. I would love to know. It kills me that, I mean, I guess some of these, because I mean, they're on the page, but some of these pieces, God, are you serious? Like, when I see this, in my mind's eye, it's like a huge painting, but then you can see it's not that big. And I just can't believe he fit that on these small pages. That's so cool. I wonder where these are. Where are these? Are they in his house? Are they framed? Are they in a museum? Where are these pieces? That little guy. Oh, they did that part they did both of these parts so well. Like the way it translates over to the cartoon. They did a really good job. And then it closes with Trout. And this is all you get. This is it. This is Trout. What is this? What is happening? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. What is happening? What is Trout? It's so weird. It's so freaking weird. What is this? I don't know. And that's it. And then it goes back to that Frank Zappa piece. The end. A very, very interesting book. I like it. Let's see. So, I have here a couple Batman stories. So this is issue 1 of 5 of Secrets. And I gotta tell you, not my favorite. It's okay. The art's fun. The story's kind of goofy. It's definitely, I mean, that's cool. See? So Joker basically, I don't know. I don't know if I want to. I'm really bad about spoiling stuff. But Joker, he cons his way out of Arkham. He convinces everybody that he's reformed. And while this is going on, there are these flashback sequences to when Batman was a child. And as the story progresses, you come to find out that something bad happened when he was a kid, not long after he lost his parents. And it just kind of added to the trauma and helped, I guess, formulate his reasoning for what he does. And the Joker is trying so hard to like get this story out of Batman, he's not budging. He's very, just I'm not telling you what you want to know. I mean, I'm not telling you my secrets. And there's so much, sometimes it gets a little clunky with the flashbacks and going to present day and telling, like going back and forth between what's happening with the different characters. Like it's sometimes it gets a little jumbled, and this gets complained about a little bit in the letters. But after all is said and done, it works out. This is an interesting sequence here. It's definitely like, I know this is going to sound weird, but it reads to me in a way that like it's more enjoyable. Like, if you were to be reading this for the first time, I would recommend reading it, like read 1 and then give it a week and then read 2. I wouldn't just sit and pound it all back to back to back to back. I think kind of spreading it out a little would actually make it more digestible, if that makes sense. So this is book 2. And kind of hard to see what's going on. Yeah, it's kind of hard for me to see what's going on. That's what it's like. It's not the worst, but it's definitely not his greatest work. Like, I feel like it was almost like he was tired when he did this. He just wasn't really, I don't know, he wasn't feeling his chops. I forgot about that. God, 52. I was not a fan. There's just a little too much going on with that. He gets mixed up, the Joker, with like this crazy therapist. She takes out Batman with a bat. That's just not happening. Like, just no. So, and this is what I mean about how it's like you get disoriented. So she takes out Batman with a bat, which is just nonsense. And then, now granted, it does say interlude, but still. And then you get this dialogue between Batman and the Joker. And it kind of, so in this story, there is a lot of referencing to the Killing Joke. And so in this dialogue scene right here, Joker says, hey, remember all that stuff I was saying in the alley before Terry knocked you cold with a bat? Because I guess you can take out Batman with a bat. Mind if I finish it now? You've got 10 minutes. Well, it's funny. We can't really die, you and me. We'll be kept alive and at each other's throats in reporters' stories forever. It makes us iconic, sort of, doesn't it? You dark and brooding, me insane, laughing. Cliches the public wants. But there's more to us than that. Is there? Sure. But the question is, why must we fight? Because you keep killing people. No, we fight because the machine demands it. What machine? The corporations, the public, media profits. They want blood, Roman gladiator stuff. And Thumbs Up doesn't pull the ratings or sell papers, does it? That's your reality, not mine. And it just goes back and forth like that. And then it goes into a flashback from when he was a kid. And then it jumps immediately to a next page where he's in bed with Alfred comforting him. I mean, it's just like so... It's kind of all over the place. And you just don't really know, like, what exactly is going on, where or when with who. But it looks cool. So, you know. And then it flashes back again. He's a kid. And then it's back in, I guess, the present, and they're not having a dialogue. It's not the interlude. It's what... There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. This is very Dave McKean. Arkham Asylum. This here. So that's book 2. Beep, beep, beep. Three has the best cover. This is 3. The best cover of all 5. Cover 4 is, I don't know what they were thinking. I think this one is the best written one too. It's the most streamlined, and the flashbacks, they make sense. I like this. Beep. Hilarious. That's a good one too. Nice splash page. Let's see if turning off these lights might do something. And if that doesn't do it, then we're stuck. I really like how he does the Batmobile. Yeah, I didn't really do anything. It's the phone. Huh, how about that? Well, yeah, I really can't do anything about that. But yeah, I like this one the best. It's the most coherent. Now, what does this cover? What is this? How did they let this go? I mean, you can barely see. That is, I don't know, man. Not a fan. It could have been cool. You know, I see what they were trying to do. It could have been cool. They just went a little too hard in the paint with this. Get another Ralph Steadman looking piece here. What's going on? But he does it well. He does it well. And this piece is just crazy. I really like this. You know, too much stress can kill you. More dialogue in the dark. This is how issue 4 ends. And then the final one, 5 of 5. It's okay cover. Not bad. It's okay. Yeah, it's very Killing Joke. Interesting splash. Very different kind of story. Especially with the flashback stuff when he was a kid. Now, the other Batman story that he did, this one is called, so this is Batman Secrets. The other one is Batman Confidential. And I liked this one way better. It's a bizarre story with Batman and this sulfur monster and a blind woman. And this is entitled Ghosts. I love this Batman. I just think that looks so cool. This reads like a thriller mystery. And it's a lot of fun. I liked this a lot. Some interesting splash. It's a different kind of story. Different kind of Batman story for sure. The way it's written and the characters, just everything about it. This is a very, I don't know what was going on with Secrets, but this plays out like a Sam Kieth story. Like if I were to say, what if Sam Kieth were to do a Batman story? This is it. And the art's really cool. Look at Commissioner Gordon. I mean, that's just neat. I love this drawing of him. I love the art. And this, I love how he's got his cape, like, running down, like paint. It's very Mr. Gone. Oh my god, this phone. Wonder why it does that. The art's so good. I love this piece. Although that came out. Just looks so cool. It's a really sad story too. And then there's this part right here. I find it so curious, but I love it. For whatever reason, Sam decided to make Batman take his cowl off, and then he drew Bruce Wayne. You see there? I don't know why he did that, but I'm here for it. I dig it. I like it. I approve. That's just so cool. I love that. Look at that. I love how that looks. Good job, Sam. Oh, God, I wish you could... Why is it doing that? This is so frustrating. What are you going to do? This is such a Maxx pose. How many times have we seen the Maxx in this position? Or Wolverine. That's such a Kieth piece. Cool. And then this is the next one. So there's 40, 41, 42, and 43. It's weird because usually like they'll say like, you know, one of, two of, but these don't. So it was kind of tricky. It was like, do I have them all? Do I need a 39? Do I need a 44? But no, it's It's 40 through 43. So yeah, this is 41. Ghosts. Super cool painting of Batman. That looks so weird. Cool splash. It's like an X-Files episode of Batman. And now he's like talking to this ghost. More like arguing. More cool Batmobile pieces. I just think that looks so cool. Cool splash. This is the third one. It's a strange cover. That's the ghost monster that they're fighting. We'll switch up. I love these big close-ups he does of faces. I just think that looks so cool. Interesting panels. Yeah, if you're going to spend your money on secrets or confidential, get confidential. I mean, look at these. Look at that. I just want to pull these out and frame them. These look so cool. Yeah. Here where these panels are referencing. These are panels from the Secrets comic. This is the flashback parts when he was a little boy. Uh-huh. Yeah. This is all. We're having flashbacks of a flashback. But it's okay. It works. Oh, God, this comic. It gets so sad. It's pretty gruesome, too. Like these guys, they just got dismembered. Ugh. Rendered. Ugh. And then the final one. That looks so cool. That's cool. Mm. 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 It's an interesting way to end. I gotta say, I'm not gonna say how it ends. It's strange, but he pulls it off. I love this. He pulls it off. This is cool. I just love this piece. Now, this is a one-shot, and it's a great one-shot. This is basically the origin story of Tiger and Patch, an alias that Wolverine uses during his Madripoor stint. And the interior art is not done by Sam Kieth, but it's great regardless. And the story is bananas, and I just love it. But this is the cover that Sam does for it. I just love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. But yeah, this comic is crazy. Stuff goes down. Again, the interior art is not Kieth, but it's good stuff. Wolverine is not messing around in this. It's worth sharing quickly. I just love it. We're at the Princess Bar. It's so good. But yes, I love the cover that Sam does for it. And speaking of Tiger, dun, 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 dun. Oh my god, do we know what this is? This thing is so crazy. Let's see here. So here's this Wizard magazine with this amazing Sam Kieth cover that he does of the Hulk. And the interview in here. Let's see here. Have you seen the Wolverine series I did in Marvel Comics Presents with Peter David? That's this. Haven't finished it yet, but I'm reading it. There's some little stuff I tried to put in there. I don't know if people caught it or not. In one of the stories, I put in the bulldog from Rocketeer, the one with the pipe. I'm a big fan of Dave Stevens, so I put the bulldog in the background of one of the dream sequences. Nobody caught it. I was sure Marvel would have taken it out. And later on, sure they would get wise, I changed it to a poodle. And they caught the poodle, but not the Rocketeer dog. Why does this poodle have a pipe, they asked. And I couldn't tell them, because they take the bulldog out too. Oh my god. When you're working on something like Wolverine, did Peter give you a fairly detailed plot? That was odd. Even Peter would tell you that in the beginning, it was pretty detailed, and toward the middle, when he found out I was doing it, it got less so. You see, when Peter wrote the first 2 chapters, he thought Todd McFarlane was going to draw it. And when Todd had to back out, I got it. And then Peter said, if Sam's going to do this, let's make it really weird. Then he started adding all this strange stuff. And like a fool, I kept requesting all these odd things to appear in the story. So Peter had to figure out how to get them into Madripoor. That's where the dream scenario came from. That's the only logical reason for the hot dogs in the story. Kids keep asking, was there a plan or method in doing this? I'd like people to believe there was. Peter's a talented enough writer that in the end it kind of makes sense. I said to him, I really think this story reads like we knew exactly what we were doing from the beginning. Did Peter tell you about the eyeball thing? No. There's a part where Wolverine rips the villain's eyeball out of the socket, puts it in his mouth, and spits it out. When Peter told me this originally, he described it very vividly as a very violent scene. I thought he was asking for it to be very graphic. I made it way too graphic. I forgot the kids are going to read this. Everybody said, "Are you nuts?" And I agreed, so I changed it. Oh my God. So, this is what he's talking about. And it's so funny because you can barely see, I went looking for this bulldog and poodle twice. And I've read this many times. I read this when it came out. And are you ready to see this bulldog that he was so worried Marvel was going to find and take out? It's this guy right here. There's the bulldog with the pipe. And then you see it again. Just barely. I don't even know if I can show it to you. There we go. It's like right there in the crease. There. And then he turns it into a poodle. Why is there a poodle with a pipe? Here. That is just... I had no idea. This has been in my life since I was a kid. And I had no flippin' idea that he did that. This is a really trippy story. It starts off like there's this wolf character that he befriends that kind of keeps popping up throughout the story. And then later on, oh God, I love this piece. It's very, I love all this stuff that he does here. So there's a lot of art that he does that is really Art Nouveau. And considering his penchant for voluptuous women, I mean, I swear to God, if Sam Kieth wasn't an Alphonse Mucha fan, I will eat my entire comic collection. But, and the stuff that he does, there's just so much stuff this. It's, and not that Mucha did anything like this, but see, no, this is very Art Nouveau. Obviously not the skull and feather stuff, but this design up here. And the way he draws his women. And, oh yeah. So he's got this wolf friend. And then he later, makes this kitty cat friend. And they kind of hang out with him throughout the story. I love this. This is so cool. He's running and he jumps, he leaps, and he climbs up, and it's just this, just the way he draws that, it's just so cool. But yeah, oh, and like this thing here, and like the way he draws like the exterior of Julie's apartment. I mean, there's just so much that's Mucha inspired. But I couldn't find anything, because, you know, you read different interviews and stuff, and it's like, oh, they were inspired by that or inspired by this. And, you know, I saw lots of artist references, but never once Alphonse Mucha, and it's driving me crazy. I need the validation. I need to read the words that Sam Kieth loved Alphonse Mucha. And then there he is. He's like, with the kitty and the wolf. They're helping him out. They actually save him in the end. And then this is where he's like having this crazy, like, drug-induced dream. It's so weird. Ah, and then this piece right here. I mean, this is Maxx in the dumpster. Is it not? And then there's that other Batman piece. I mean, come on. It's just so weird. And then I just love this back and forth here, the way that Tiger and Cyber are communicating. Sending paper airplanes back and forth to each other. I got another stylized globe piece here. I love it, I love it, I love it. This is just crazy looking. And then we got the wolf and the kitty. They're protecting each other, and they're gonna help Wolverine and Tiger. It's just so... It's been surreal. I never get tired of this. This comic is so fun. It is absolutely bonkers. This is trippy looking. Wolverine hates limericks. It gets kind of busy, but it's so engaging. Like, you just get lost in it in the best way. Here he's drugged again, and he's just totally tripping his ass off. Oh, and I love this. They're like they're bargaining with each other. And they're just going through all these different back and forths. And here they are. They're like, oh my God, that looks crazy. Playing ping pong, each with their gun drawn on each other. Oh, and the ending. The wolf and the kitty save Wolverine. They sure do. Oh, and this is the part that he had to change, where he bites out Cypher's eye and spits it out at him. I wonder what the original looked like. Oh, it's so good. This was Marvel Comics Presents number 85 through 92. And then it was collected into one piece here. I kind of want the individual issues just because the cover art is so good. Man, that Sam Kieth can really do some good covers. Next, we have something that I have not read yet. It is, let's see here. This puppy came out 1989. And it is volume 1 of Epicurus the Sage. The art is incredible. Of course. This is the first page. God, that's so weird. I wonder why it does that. What a strange effect. There we go. That's what it looks like. So I'm just going to read the back here. What's so funny about Greek philosophy? Well, there's Socrates, a warm, grandfatherly guy who hates democracy and believes in rule by philosopher kings. Much to his surprise, his students keep trying to be a dictator. A Santa Claus raising a generation of fascists. And then there's Aristotle, who believes overwhelmingly in common sense. He is, as a result, overwhelmingly wrong. Placing alligators and trees in the same class because they're both green pretty much speaks for itself. And let's not forget Plato, the clever fellow who believes that everything really real is in this cave and that everything we think is real is really, oh, never mind. Which leaves us with our hero, Epicurus, a man with a philosophy so tolerant that he actually teaches women. Join Epicurus and the rest of his pals for the very best in classical Greek history and philosophy, only slightly improved over the original. One day I will read this. Today is not that day. Man. The art really is just great. This is baby Alexander the Great. Demeter, mother of the earth. And she is not happy. Her daughter Persephone was kidnapped. not happy about that. We're going to the underworld. Yeah, this is volume 1. And I will read this when I obtain volume 2. And I can read both together. So, Sam Kieth is incredibly self-deprecating. And I read this interesting letter where a fan of his calls him out on it. So apparently there was this thing where there was like a call for artist submissions to do Frank Frazetta inspired pieces. And Sam Kieth was asked to participate in this. And he said no. He didn't feel like he was good enough to do an homage piece to Frazetta. And apparently somehow this information came out, and a fan wrote in a letter really upset about this and was saying, you know, how could you deprive your fans of something like this? We love your work. We would love to see you do a Frazetta inspired piece. Do you think your fans have bad taste? Do you think your fans are stupid? Do you think your fans are like dumb for liking your art? Like, what is the deal? And Sam replied and said that the opinion he has of himself and his art is not a reflection on how he views his fans, and that it's just his way of keeping himself humble. Okay. All that to say, I have to find this letter because I'm so curious when it came out, because this piece right here, ooh, that's cool. So this is 3 of 3 of Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. And as you can see, Kieth after Frazetta. A Sam Kieth, Frank Frazetta inspired piece. And on the back, a Simon Bisley Mars Attacks piece. Pretty awesome comic as far as cover and back cover is concerned. I mean, holy crap. But this came out 1994. This is August of 94. I'm going to find that comic with that letter and see when that was. I wonder if he did this before or after. I'm so curious. But yes, this is 3 of 3, Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. This is cover number 2. Not Frank Frazetta inspired, but still an amazing piece. Look at that. Isn't that so cool? I love it. And then, dun, 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 number 1. I can't say I have a favorite. I love all 3 of them. Isn't that lovely? I just think that looks so cool. So we have 1 and 2 And 3. Lovely. The story, it's good. It's a little stressful. And when I say stressful, like, remember the ant and the scorpion scene in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids? That kind of feeling of stressful. You're just like, poor auntie, oh my God. But instead it's a dinosaur. So yeah, good story, interesting story, entertaining story, fun comic story, a little stressful. The interior art is not by Sam Kieth, but it's fine. It looks like this. It's good art. Ah. You know, if you're into dinosaurs. And old cars. So yeah, fun stuff. And each issue has a separate dinosaur story in it. So at the end of this one, there's this guy. Because I guess they figure, why the hell not? We'll just throw in another dinosaur story. I don't think anybody complained. In this one, the art in this secondary story looks like something straight out of Heavy Metal magazine, I swear to God. Like, look at that. That's heavy metal art all day long. But yeah, I thought that was neat. It's like a little bonus comic. And then this one, Dawn on the Farm. It's just so weird. But I like it. I like it. So that is all. I have more, but I'm going to save those for other videos. I have, of course, the Aliens Sam Kieth comics that I'm going to share on LV426 Day. And I was trying to figure out how to go about sharing the Maxx comics because it's so big, it's so weird, there's a lot. And then, of course, there's all the crossovers, and then Friends of Maxx. There's just a lot going on when it comes to the Maxx. So I decided that I'm going to go issue by issue of the Maxx and Maxx-related titles throughout the month of May. So if you're a big Maxx fan, come back in May. And if you're not, come back in June. So yeah, I wish I had more, but like I was saying earlier, I don't think I'm ever going to have everything of anyone. There's just too much. There's too much. But it's fun to try. Anyway, thanks for hanging out, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.